Have you ever considered how your daily actions contribute to the climate crisis? That's a question we should all be asking ourselves. Now, don't get me wrong, climate change isn't just an issue for the environmentalists among us. It's a global conundrum that affects each and every one of us, irrespective of where we call home. But what exactly is climate change, I hear you ask? Well, in the simplest terms, it refers to the long-term shifts and alterations in temperature and typical weather patterns around the world. Think of those scorching summer days that now seem hotter than you remember as a kid, or the winters that don't seem as bitterly cold. That's climate change in action. And the impacts? They're far-reaching and devastating, from the polar ice caps melting, causing sea levels to rise, to severe heat waves and droughts impacting our agriculture and water supplies. Climate change is shaking up the very core of our existence. Now you might wonder, how did we get here? The answer lies in our human activities. Our insatiable appetite for energy has led us to burn fossil fuels like there's no tomorrow, releasing vast amounts of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. These gases trap heat from the sun's rays within the Earth's atmosphere, causing the planet to warm up, a phenomenon we know as global warming. And let's not forget deforestation. Our forests are our planet's lungs, absorbing carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen, but we're cutting them down at an alarming rate for timber, to make way for agriculture, or to fuel our ever-growing urbanization. This not only releases the carbon stored in the trees, but also means there are fewer trees left to absorb the carbon dioxide we keep pumping out. Then there's the issue of excessive consumption. We're consuming more resources than our planet can replenish, be it water, soil, minerals, or biodiversity. This not only depletes our planet's resources, but also results in more waste and pollution. This might seem overwhelming, but don't lose hope just yet. There are practical solutions and initiatives we can all be part of. Imagine a world powered by the sun, the wind, and the waves. A world where our energy needs are met by nature's abundant renewable resources, not by burning fossil fuels that harm our planet. Sounds like a utopia, right? But this is not just a pipe dream. It's a future we are steadily moving towards, thanks to renewable energy. Let's talk about solar power first. The sun is a colossal energy factory, producing more energy in a single hour than the entire world uses in a year. With solar panels, we can tap into this vast reservoir of power, converting sunlight directly into electricity. Solar power is clean, abundant, and most importantly, it's sustainable. It doesn't emit any greenhouse gases, and it won't run out for another 5 billion years or so. Next, we have wind power. Just like the sun, the wind is everywhere, and it's free. Wind turbines capture the kinetic energy of the wind and turn it into electricity. They can be installed on land or at sea, and they have a smaller footprint than traditional power plants. Plus, they don't produce any harmful emissions. Finally, there's hydroelectric power. This is energy derived from the movement of water, whether it's the flow of a river or the tides of the ocean. Hydropower plants use turbines to convert this kinetic energy into electricity. It's a proven technology that has been around for more than a century, and it's still one of the most efficient ways to generate power. But the benefits of renewable energy go beyond just reducing greenhouse gas emissions. It also promotes energy independence. By harnessing the power of the sun, the wind, and the water, countries can reduce their reliance on imported fossil fuels. This can lead to more stable energy prices, and it can create jobs in the growing renewable energy sector. Transitioning to renewable energy is not just a dream, but a feasible reality that we can all contribute to. It's a journey that we must embark on together for the sake of our planet and future generations. From corporations to individuals, many are taking a stand for sustainability. This is no longer a fringe movement, it's a global revolution. Around the world, we're seeing the rise of sustainable initiatives in action, making a tangible difference in the fight against climate change. Take green building practices, for instance. This isn't just about slapping solar panels on a roof. It's about designing and constructing buildings in a way that minimizes their environmental impact. From using recycled materials to integrating natural light and ventilation, these buildings are not only reducing carbon emissions, but also providing healthier spaces for people to live and work. On a larger scale, we have conservation efforts. Massive reforestation projects are sprouting up across the globe, from the Amazon rainforest to the plains of Africa. These initiatives aim to restore biodiversity, protect endangered species, and capture carbon dioxide. With millions of trees being planted, It's an impressive feat of environmental stewardship, but it's not all about the big players. Local communities are also stepping up. Waste reduction programs are becoming increasingly popular. Picture this, a community where everything that's thrown away is either composted, recycled, or reused. No more landfills brimming with trash, no more litter clogging our rivers and oceans. It's a circular economy in action, and it's happening in towns and cities worldwide. And let's not forget about the schools teaching the next generation about sustainability. These educational initiatives are equipping our children with the knowledge and tools they need to continue this fight. They're learning how to grow their own food, conserve water, and reduce waste. It's a holistic approach to education that's preparing them for a sustainable future. These are just a few examples of the sustainable initiatives in action today. They show us that change is possible, that every action counts, no matter how small. These initiatives are proof that when we act collectively, we can make a significant impact.
You might ask, what can I do to help? Well, the answer is a lot. There are countless practical steps you can take starting from today to reduce your carbon footprint and contribute to sustainability. Let's delve into some. First off, recycling. It's not just about tossing your soda cans into the right bin. It's about understanding that every item has a life cycle. That plastic bottle you just tossed, it could be a new carpet in its next life. So be mindful to separate your trash correctly. Next, composting. Did you know that food waste generates a shocking amount of methane, a potent greenhouse gas, when it decomposes in landfills? By composting, you can turn your kitchen scraps into nutrient-rich soil for plants. It's a win-win situation for you and the planet. Reducing energy use is another significant step. Simple actions like turning off the lights when you leave a room, unplugging devices when they're not in use, and choosing energy-efficient appliances can make a substantial difference. And let's not forget about water. Cutting down on long showers, fixing leaky faucets, and opting for native plants that require less watering in your garden are just some ways to conserve this precious resource. Another way to promote sustainability is by supporting sustainable businesses. These are companies that make a concerted effort to minimize their environmental impact. By choosing to patronize these businesses, you're voting with your dollars for a greener economy. Last but not least, consider alternative modes of transportation. Carpooling, biking, or walking not only reduces your carbon emissions, but also keeps you fit and healthy. Remember, sustainability isn't an overnight achievement. It's a journey, and every small step you take on this journey matters. Every action, no matter how small, can contribute to a more sustainable future. So, what's stopping you from being part of the solution to climate change? We've spent the last few minutes discussing the pressing issue of climate change, the promise of renewable energy, and the inspiring initiatives that are already in motion. Now, it's time to turn the spotlight on you. Our actions, no matter how small they may seem, when combined with the efforts of others around the globe, can create a ripple effect. An effect strong enough to combat climate change and lead us to a sustainable future. It starts with you. It starts with us. It starts now. You might be wondering, what can I do? Well, you can start with simple lifestyle changes. Choosing to walk or cycle instead of driving for short distances. Recycling and composting. Reducing waste by reusing where we can. Opting for products made from recycled materials. These may seem small, but they are significant steps towards reducing our carbon footprint. And then there are the bigger steps: conserving water, planting trees, supporting clean energy initiatives, advocating for policies that promote sustainability. Remember, every action counts. It's about making conscious choices that not only benefit us, but also our planet. Because at the end of the day, this is our home. We have a responsibility to protect it, but it's not just about individual actions, it's about collective efforts. We need to join together as communities, as nations, as a planet. We need to work together to fight against climate change, to create a future that's not just sustainable but thriving, a future where our children and their children can live in harmony with nature. This is our call to action, a call to each and every one of us to step up, to take responsibility, and to make a difference. Remember, the power to create a sustainable future is in your hands. Act now for the sake of our planet and future generations.